guys, Hi Bryson here, and today I'm going to give you guys 10 credit cards you can apply for today if you have, for example, bad credit, or for example, are new to credit, or have no credit history whatsoever. Now, by the way, when I say bad credit, I don't mean like you miss a payment or two. The answer is bad credit means, hey, I have a bankruptcy. So I'm going to give you credit cards you can apply for today and get accepted even if you have, for example, a bankruptcy. And by the way, the worst thing ever is, for example, I had a friend that had a very good income but had a very bad credit score and wanted to move out and actually get an apartment for him and his wife and his kid. And when he went, they said, no, you can't come here. You have a bad credit score. So he literally had to do something illegal by getting a friend of his to sign the lease for him and have him live there. But the name of the apartment was actually in his friend's name, but no one found out. And by the way, I don't want you guys to jump through loops like that just because you have a bad credit score. And imagine, for example, if you want to buy a house, you have the down payment, but you still can't qualify because basically your credit score is bad. So the goal of this video is to give you a legal way to build your credit score and get ahead. So when that time comes to get an apartment or to basically buy a home, whatever you want to do out there, or get a loan, the answer is you can go ahead and qualify for those things without having to jump through any loopholes whatsoever. That's the goal of this video right here. Now, by the way, guys, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day on YouTube, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. And by the way, guys, if you guys are wondering, Tommy, did you sign the lease for your friend? The answer is no. I was not going to take that risk whatsoever for a friend or for anyone, okay? But he actually got another friend to do it for him and paid him $500. And I was like, yeah, $500. But if you ruined your credit score, that's going to be a massive problem. Well, basically, it worked out for them, but I highly recommend you never do anything like that whatsoever. Now, guys, for the first part of this video, I'm going to give you options if you have bad credit, then if you are new to credit, and then some more options as a bonus, okay? So stick around all the way to the end of the video. Now, number one, guys, okay? Let's say, for example, you have bad credit. And again, bad credit means that you have a bankruptcy in your account, missed payments, and you basically have a very, 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 very bad credit score, but you want to rebuild and you want to go ahead and get yourself a credit card. Now tell me, what exactly are my options? Well, option one is called OpenSky. Now, OpenSky is actually a secured credit card, which means you're going to have to make a deposit, and that deposit is going to be your credit line. In this case, the minimum deposit is around $200. On top of that, they charge you around $35 every single year as an annual fee, but they don't even bother checking your credit score. And yes, they report to all three major bureaus every single month. So if you ask me, that's awesome, and also a great way to go ahead and start building your credit score. Although that $35 fee is going to add up over the years. But the point is not to have it forever, but just to have it for a while until you get your credit score back in order. Again, the first one is OpenSky. Now, option two is the Indigo Mastercard, and here it is right here. And this one is not secure, so basically, it does not require a deposit, but it does have an annual fee of around $99 every single year. So you can actually call and see if they can waive it for you, but if they don't, it's going to be around $99 every single year. And by the way, do not expect some massive credit line. The answer is they're probably going to give you between $300, maybe $200, all the way up to $700 and maybe more, but most likely not, okay? Now, option three is actually the Surge Mastercard credit card. Now, this one, again, is not a secure credit card, does not require deposits, and the entire annual fee is between $75 to $99. And by the way, they also give your credit score every single month for free, which is basically already free with Credit Karma. But on top of that, they also give you a credit line between $300 all the way up to $750. And by the way, when you look this card up online, everyone says it's solid, it's pretty cool. But by the way, just remember, okay, you're gonna have this card for maybe a year or two, and then open up another credit card, a real one without the fees, the annual fees, and all that stuff, and then you start off your whole credit history. But this one right here is pretty solid. Again, if you have bad credit, okay? Now these other two options right here are, for example, if you have a limited credit history, not really if you have, for example, a bad credit score. So keep that in mind. So for example, when you go from having a bad credit score to a more like polite one, like, okay, it's kind of like, all right, you can go ahead and apply for these ones right here. But they also do have annual fees, which I don't like, but you do have to do it because basically you do have not the best credit score. And these right here, basically the first progress platinum prestige card, and this one right here is a secure card, and it does require a deposit of around $200, and the annual fee is only around $49, which is a lot lower than $100 and a lot lower than $75, okay, which is pretty cool. Now, the last option here, if you have bad credit or a limited credit history, is actually the Reflex Mastercard credit card. This one has an annual fee of around $75 to $99, and it also does not require any deposit whatsoever. And again, these options right here, the last two are for limited credit history, and the other three are if you have bad credit. Now, by the way, guys, here's a bonus. I also recommend the Self Credit Builder account, which also helps you build your entire credit score, and it does require a lot less money in fees, okay, which is actually pretty cool if you ask me. Now, there is one more thing, guys, here, okay? Tell me, if you had a bad credit score, how would you actually do it, okay? By the way, guys, my current credit score right now is around 762 or 758 with TransUnion, so it's not that low. But the answer is, if I had a bad credit score, I wouldn't go ahead and apply for all these cards, because basically that's going to be a ton of money in annual fees. So basically I would get a Self Credit Builder account, one, and I would also get an OpenSky secured credit card. That way I have two lines of credit in a sense, and that way I can start building my credit score, but I don't have that many fees. Once that's taken care of, then I can go ahead and get some better credit cards, okay? Now, for part 2 of this video right here, here are the options. For example, if you're new to credit and are just getting started. For example, you're a student and maybe you're 25 or 30 and you're gonna get your first credit card ever, because now you're like, hey, I wanna buy a house, I wanna get an apartment, I wanna do things, and I can't do it without having a proper credit score. So here are the options. But again, these options are not for you if, for example, you have a bad credit score. But once your credit score has been fixed, you can come on here and then basically apply for some of these cards right here. Now, the first option is actually the Capital One Secure Card, and it does not have any annual fee. And by the way, guys, usually only like the bad credit score cards usually have an annual fee, because basically it's a lot riskier for people to make those loans. Just keep that in mind. But once you get into this field right here, usually they don't carry any annual fees, and that's also pretty cool. But the Capital One Secure Card is a secure card, and it does require a deposit of around $49, which is not that bad at all if you ask me. And by the way, this is the first credit card I got from my mom when she didn't have a credit score whatsoever, and now her credit score is around a 722 or 719 or somewhere around there, which is actually pretty solid. And she also has 2 other credit cards. So in total, 3 credit cards and a great credit score, and a lot of opportunities out there. So I highly recommend the first credit card you apply for is the Capital One Secure Card, because obviously it's not that hard to qualify for. But if they do reject you, do me a favor, grab your phone, call in, ask why they rejected you, and say, hey, I have a job, I have income coming in, I can afford the deposit, and I can also afford the payments. And usually they'll turn around the decision and give you the credit card, okay? Now, option 2 is the Capital One Platinum credit card. Now, this one, again, is not a secure card, so basically no annual fee, also no deposits, and it also does not include any like cashback or any of that stuff. But basically, it's a credit card you can apply for, but you don't have an annual fee and also no deposit. But again, it is going to be just a little bit harder to actually qualify for this one. So just keep that in mind. And again, if they reject you, just call in. I've been rejected in the past, and when I call in, usually they say, yes, everything is good, don't worry. And usually you want to do the secure card first and then go ahead and graduate over to this one right here with no deposit, and that way you can start getting more cards that don't require any deposits and also no annual fees. Now, once you apply for those cards right there and you actually got qualified and actually accepted, I recommend, if you want another card, apply for the Discover Secure Card. However, this card right here is harder to get than the Capital One secure card. So always do the Capital One first, and then if you get accepted, apply for the Discover card. But if you don't get accepted, usually the Discover card is going to reject you also, most of the time. My mom got rejected for the Discover card, but got accepted for the Capital One secure card. And by the way, the cool thing about the Discover One is that basically they do give you a 1% to 2% cash back whenever you buy something, and that's why it's a little bit harder to actually qualify for. And by the way, no annual fee, but it does require a deposit because again, it is a secured card. And lastly, I also recommend the Petal card. Now the Petal card is actually pretty solid. It gives you between 1% to 1.5%, and also every 3 to 6 months, it also increases your entire line of credits. But again, it is going to be a little harder to actually qualify for this one right here. And by the way, guys, any card I mentioned here, just go to the website, check it out, see if you like it, and then make a decision. But usually you want to apply for the easiest one first, because if you ding your credit score, then it might become harder to apply for the ones that are even easier to actually get. Okay, so apply again, Capital One first, and then make your way down to Discover One and also the Petal credit card, which is also pretty solid. Now, guys, let's say for example, by the way, that's 9 credit cards so far. Now, let's say for example, you wanted to apply for some other credit cards and your credit score is pretty decent now, and you want to get a credit card you actually like and are gonna stick for a pretty long time or so. Okay, now these credit cards right here I recommend are basically the Apple credit card. Now, if you get rejected, they're gonna give you a statement telling you, hey, here is what you can do to become an Apple credit card holder. So they give you a way, a road to actually get the entire Apple credit card if you do get rejected. And I do think it's a pretty solid credit card. And on top of that, you also have a new credit card that's not even out yet, but it's gonna come out pretty soon in the winter. And that credit card is called the X1 Smart Credit Card. And here it is right here. It's pretty cool, and it's mostly based on your income. So that's gonna help you also, but that's also just a bonus because we don't know if it's actually gonna come out or not. So far, I gave you 10, and I also even gave you a bonus. You have the credit cards for bad credits, the credit cards for new credits, and also 1 or 2 credit cards if you have a decent score and you want to start applying for some more decent credit cards, okay? But guys, that is about it for this video. And before I go, I want to tell you guys one last thing here, okay? The goal is to build your credit score. The goal is not to go ahead and get into debt and make the credit card companies a lot of money. So I recommend, okay, once you get these credit cards you actually like and you build your credit score, okay, decent enough, I want you just to put a bill on each of them and basically have them pay themselves off in full every single month, and then just start using a debit card. That way you maintain your credit score and also build it over time, but you're not getting into any debt. And by the way, once you get 2 or 3 normal credit cards with no annual fees and no deposits, you can go ahead and start canceling out the older credit cards that had, for example, an annual fee. Do not try to keep an annual fee credit card that you're not going to use for 10 years and pay that company $350, okay? It is not worth it. Just saying, all right? Now, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Comment down below and let me know which credit cards you're going to apply for. And also comment down below, did I miss any credit cards? Comment them down below also, and I also might review them in my next video. I'll see you guys later. If you like this video right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And on top of that, if you want to talk to me or text me, subscribe to my Patreon, link down below, or just send me a DM on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. And by the way, if you want to find out exactly how to build your credit score in 10 minutes, watch the video right here and click me on. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.